It's minging outside, absolutely minging. If you're not familiar with that term, it kind of means less than pleasant, horrible, not pleased, don't want to go out there. Don't have to go out there because I'm in my wonderfully warm workshop and I've got coffee, a piece of ash and this little beaut. I saw this when I went to the Woodworkers Workshop open day and I was able to fondle it to my heart's content. So looking at websites is great, isn't it? Because you get to see what's on offer and how much it is, but you don't get to touch it and get all feely with it. And I was able to do that at the show and I thought it was fantastic, and then got distracted and forgot to buy it. Can you believe it? Forgot to buy a tool. I know, slipping, Graham. Pay attention. And then I was reminded of it because they sent out one of their special offer emails for an extra 10% off, or it might even have been 20% off actually. So I just went click, didn't give it a second thought, threw caution to the wind, and here it is. One of the most gorgeous little block planes I've seen for a long, long time. Why don't you come in and take a look? So there's the box, excellent packaging, blah, blah, blah. It came from Woodworkers Workshop, so we know it's not going to be crap. Wrapped in a nice piece of, I take it, impregnated protectory paper. And look at that. That is absolutely beautiful. There's some oily, messy stuff on the bottom, so we'll give that a wipe off. But it's really very clean. It's not absolutely plastered in the stuff, which some bits of kit are. And what struck me about this was the fact that it's wonderfully narrow and fits in my hand absolutely perfectly. I think they made it for me. So we can adjust the throat to match whatever we're doing. Thin or thick shavings. And one of the reasons that I really wanted this, apart from the fact that it's beautiful, it came at a really attractive price, and the fact that it's really narrow, is the wheel is easily accessible. Let me explain. I've been using this Wood River block plane for a number of years and really, really like it. I mean, I tend to reach for this when I should be using a much bigger plane, especially if I'm on site. I've always got this with me, so in the event of not having any other tool to reach for, the only one you got is the perfect one. So I've used and abused that quite a bit. And then I bought this, quite excited to get this because I can get right in. This is a full width rebate plane. So if you notice on this one, there's a little shoulder there. The blade's encapsulated, this blade's exposed. So you can get right in up to the shoulder. But I never use it because it's a nightmare to adjust. The wheel is actually hidden underneath this top handle plate here. So to get it to exactly the depth that you want, it's damn fiddly. And when I saw this one, again, I fully appreciate the fact that this is a match with this, not with that. So not quite apples to apples, but the wheel on this actually protrudes just past that top handle. So it is possible to make an adjustment tighten it back down again with ease, and that little thing makes such a huge difference. So the fact that it was beautiful, really affordable, the fact that it's nice and narrow, and the wheel's easily accessible just meant I've got to have it. And I'm thinking that it might well end up being a replacement for this. So there's another difference that I want to draw to your attention. You can undo this, slide that out, and then reset your blade, take it out. if you want to resharpen. And on this wood river, you pull that up to drop that out, get to the blade. And what I found with this one is that when I'm mistreating it, manhandling it, or even just using it in anger, I tend to pick that up and it pops out. And I've done it so many times, and the blade moves, I've got to stop, reset everything. Really, really annoying. You could say I'm being a little bit aggressive with the tool, I suppose. I'm not sure whether I think that's a design fault or a me fault. So they're the two planes that I'm going to be drawing comparisons to. I fully appreciate that is not apples with apples, kind of apples with cooking apples maybe, but similar enough, and I'm used to holding these, and this is the new one. So the first thing I want to do is to see what the blade's like and what the base is like. So I'm just going to use a little marker pen. This is a diamond stone I'm using because my scary sharpening kit hasn't arrived yet. Peter, if you're watching, thanks very much. That is looking pretty darn good. And if you can see that, but we're fine all the way down the side, so maybe a slight hollow there, which I think will disappear very quickly. And this is the bit I'm looking at. This is 1,000 grit stone. Yep. We're doing pretty good. Just a tiny bit there. And we're there. Look at that. Perfect. Beautiful. So for the blade, I've switched to my 2,000 grit ceramic stone. Just check the back first. We're already polishing right up the front. All but right across the edge, maybe a little tiny wee bit there. But that is reassuringly flat. I'm really happy with that already. I mean, when you see a tool and it looks as good as that, you kind of make your mind up already that you like it, and it's wonderfully perfect in every way, don't you? So it's down to the tool to disappoint, I think. Yeah, we're right across the back already. Beautiful. And across the front. Couple more passes, I think. So I'm going to switch to the 8 just to put an edge on the front. Making sure that's nice and clean. Afraid I can't do it the Rob Cosman way, where he just goes bzzzt. I'm not that good. He's a better man than me. And a slight pickup. Make sure I haven't got a burr. And we'll give it a wipe. I've got a bit of pretty damn rough sapele here. So let's see if we can get it dialed in. Looks a little heavy on the left. Looking good. Could go a little deeper. Happy with that. So that feels really good in my hand. But planes, your preferred planes, a really personal thing, what feels good in your hand, doesn't it? And that suits me. I've not got the biggest hands in the world, but don't let that fool you. And I really like the feel of that. It's a really good weight, really well made, no sharp edges. And the test came out really well, and as you saw, pretty much flat and ready to go out of the box. But I've got a real world test to give it. So this is a piece of oak handrail that a customer has asked me if I'd make up some different fixing brackets for it. The ones that they could get, they didn't like, the little metal horrible bolt to the wall thing. And what they wanted, they saw online, that they could have this kind of affair. So it looks like that on the wall. Those dowels have a projection of about 10 mil. And I've drilled a 14 mil hole in the back, which sits over a bolt that's fixed into the wall. Then that gets epoxied on, and then the handrail can get glued or secret screwed up through underneath. So that's all fine. Really happy with that. The angle, come off. The angle at the end of the handrail is vertical when the handrail's in place on the wall. And what they like is a piece of ash as a cap on the end. Now in the rest of the house, on the newel posts, on the various staircases in the house, I've made ash newel post toppers to go on, and they want something similar-ish. What they'd like is a piece of ash stuck on the end to cover the fact that, I hope you can see that, that is veneer around solid oak block, or blocking I should say. What I've got to do is take said piece of ash, place it on the end like so, so that we get, they really like the end grain pattern of the ash, and they'd like to see that on the outside. So it'll be face grain facing up, and I've got to copy this shape. So what I was thinking was, if I took the piece there like that, I can copy the angle lines across, cut them out on the bandsaw, trim it to width, and then finish off the last of it with the hand plane. Feels like it should work all right. I hope it's going to work all right, but I won't know till I try. So I've trimmed everything back as much as I can, so I've got the angles that I need to minimise breakout everywhere. So we're going to start very gently. Okay, that's the easy bits done. Very close. And that's it. I'll try and turn this round for you to see and keep it in the camera shot. But that is all but perfect. And the only sanding I really want to do is just tiny wee bit, just with a bit of 180, maybe even 240. That is beautiful. Well, there you go. A real test for the plane. Maybe not what they intended its usage to be, but that's the sort of thing that I would end up doing if I was on site. So I wanted to test the plane. It seemed like the perfect idea, and the plane has really delivered. After all of that fairly extreme little planing, I've got a little sore spot on the end of my finger where it was sitting into this recess on this lock knob. The end fell, the top of that felt a tiny bit sharp, but after a bit of extreme use, I think, so probably really not an issue. I think this is going to become my new favourite plane. Definitely going to reach for this over the Wood River. It feels much, much nicer in the hand. No issues with that back plate popping up. The only other one that might be a contender is my little Lubin here, which is just that little bit smaller, but the weight in that is superb. Absolutely delighted with it. If you can possibly invent an excuse to buy one of these, do it. You'll not be disappointed. That is superb. Melbourne Tool Works. I'm going to have to go and look and see what else they do. There may be a few more of their tools turning up here. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks so much for watching. If you did, thumbs up, subscribe, all of that jazz. Hope to see you next time. Ta-ra. Should have said where you could buy it from, shouldn't I? You can buy one of these from Woodworkers Workshop. That's where I bought it from. It's not an affiliate link, it's just a link. I'll put it in the description down below. Go get one.